Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Town of Arlington Redevelopment Board meeting on September 8th, 2025. My name is Rachel Zemberry. I'm the chair of the board, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would the other members of the board please introduce themselves?
Steve Revelak.
Eugene Benson.
Shayna Corman-Houston.
Jenna Lau.
And we also have joining us this evening the Director of the Department of Planning and Community Development, Claire Ricker.
Thank you.
The first item on our agenda this evening is a review of the meeting minutes from August 11th, 2025. I'll turn to the board to see if there are any additions or corrections, starting with Steve.
Nothing here.
Jean?
None.
Shayna?
None.
Ken?
I have none.
Is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes as submitted?
So motioned.
Second.
We'll take a vote, starting with Steve.
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Shayna?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. Those meeting minutes have been approved. Our second agenda item this evening is the opening of the public hearing for docket number 3857, or excuse me, the continuance of the public hearing for docket number 3857 for 225 Broadway, which was continued to this evening from July 14th, 2025. I understand that the applicant wishes to continue this hearing to October 20th, 2025, and I'll turn this over to Director Ricker.
Great, thank you. So the applicant reached out to DPCD and asked for a continuance of this project. The developer has hired a new designer who is coming up to speed on the project and was not prepared to share all the material requested by the board at the July 14th meeting this evening. So they did request a continuance and would like to come back on October 20th.
Great. Any discussion, starting with Steve?
Nothing here.
Jean?
None.
Shayna?
None.
Ken?
Nothing here.
And I do not have any questions either. Is there a motion to continue the hearing for docket number 3857 to October 20th?
So motioned.
Second.
We'll take a vote, starting with Steve.
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Shayna?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. So we will see them back on October 20th and look forward to meeting the new design team. Then agenda item number 3 is the opening of the public hearing for docket number 3866, 18 Grafton Street. This applicant has also requested a continuation of the hearing to November 10th, 2025. We did identify that there are some items within the applicant's application for site plan review that require additional attention before hearing them by this board. So I'll turn it over to Director Ricker.
Great, thank you. So these plans were submitted and evaluated by DPCD over the course of the past few weeks in consultation and conversation with the designer for the project. I made it clear several times that it was likely, in fact, I strongly suspected that an accessible unit would be required as part of this project. The designer had some arguments as to why that was not the case. They will be meeting with the building commissioner, who is the final, say on the subject tomorrow, and therefore they weren't prepared this evening to present the project as designed. There are also some issues with design in the setbacks, and really it was just the decision of myself, Mr. Ciampa, Christian Klein, who's the chair of the ZBA, and the developer, that it was in everybody's best interest to open this hearing this evening and then continue it until November 10th as such a time that the applicant could be better prepared.
Are there any questions, starting with Steve?
Nothing here.
Jean?
No questions.
Shayna?
Nothing.
Ken?
None.
Can I ask a question?
We can during open forum. We're not going to be hearing this docket this evening.
Okay, well, my issue is that I'm legally blind, so I want to be able to be notified in enough time so that I can get there?
What I would love to do is talk about notice at the open forum. We'd be happy to take your question and talk about how the Department of Planning and Community Development can communicate with you in a way that you are able to receive the information.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? Great. So
Yes, I
Yes,
just want to
Jean.
say that in addition to the accessible unit, I found quite a number of other issues where I thought it did not comply with the zoning bylaw. So I would just ask that the staff discussion with the developer go beyond simply the accessible unit.
thank you, Jean. Claire?
Yes, that's understood, Jean. There were quite a few items and notations on the plans as they were submitted. I believe the applicant was interested in, comments from the board, but at this point, I think, comments from staff could be also evaluated by the applicant. And I'm happy to forward along any of your concerns or, thoughts about how the project doesn't meet zoning, because I think you're right. I think it doesn't in several ways.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion from the board to continue this hearing to November 10th, 2025?
So motioned.
It should be November 3 or 17 because the 10th is not a date.
Thank you for catching that. Let us take a look.
Our two November hearings are 3 and 17.
That is correct, and the applicant has been notified that it is the 3rd and not the 10th
Thank you very much.
of November.
Okay. Is there a motion to continue the hearing for docket number 3866 to November 3rd, 2025?
So motioned.
Second,
We'll take a vote, starting with Steve.
Yes.
Jean.
yes.
Shayna.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. We will see the applicant back and do look forward to them bringing this interesting project to us on November 3rd. So at this point, I'd like to move to agenda item number 4, which is open forum. So this is an opportunity for anyone joining us this evening to ask any questions of the board. What I'd like to do is ask if you're interested in speaking this evening to please raise your hand. I will call on you. Please introduce yourself by your first, last name, and address, and you will have up to 2 minutes to address the board. And so what I'd like to do is start with the first question that was posed. If the person joining us this evening, if you wouldn't mind, again, re-asking the question about access for the hearing for 18 Grafton Street, I'd like to turn that question over to Director Ricker to address.
Okay. I'm Judith Scott. I live at 12 Grafton Street, and I came because I have issues with the fact that I believe that part of the border, that they are, they are, what they consider the border, is my property. The house that I live in has been in my family for 75 years at least. So I know that our property lines haven't changed. And I'm concerned because they're talking about taking down the hedges, and I have a wall, and I also have concerns regarding if the garage that they're going to take down is very close to my house, so I want to know if they're going to incur costs of any damages to my property while they're demolishing it or building the new house.
So thank you very much for your questions. I would ask again that you direct them towards Director Ricker. And Director Ricker, perhaps if you could share how this neighbor can get in touch with you, it might be worth a conversation.
Sure, absolutely. You can always get in touch with the Department of Planning and Community Development. You can call the department at any time. I'm more than happy to share my contact information with you, my cell phone number, whatever means you require for notification. We can certainly oblige.
Okay, could you have you got a piece of paper and pencil so you could write it down so I could have someone, when the time comes, call you?
Sure.
So what we can do is we can make sure to gather that information from you before as this meeting ends. We'd be more than happy to do that at the conclusion of the meeting. Thank you. Anyone else this evening? Yes.
Excuse me. My name is Jen Thompson. I live at 22 Grafton Street on the other side of the proposed development. I have some similar concerns regarding the property lines and also the impact of the construction. There's a very narrow strip of land separating my house from the house that's currently standing there. And looking at the plans, it looks like there will be an even narrower strip of land left. So my family and our downstairs neighbors do have concerns about how precisely demolishing the existing property will take place and how any impacts on our property will be mitigated.
Thank you for the question. Unfortunately, since we're not holding the hearing this evening, we can't address those specific questions, but I would again also encourage you to address any questions that you might have to the Department of Planning and Community Development before the hearing, and we will certainly make sure that those concerns are passed on to the applicants so that they can address those concerns during their presentation or in the materials for the hearing. If not, the board will have an open forum on November 3rd when they do come to present before us, so that you can ask those questions and we can direct those questions to them if they haven't addressed them beforehand. Yes?
I do have one additional question. I was hoping you could clarify what is meant by an accessible unit. Is that financially accessible, physically accessible? How are we defining accessible?
Great question. So there are requirements through the Fair Housing Act for a unit in a multifamily development that is 4 units or more to be able to be made accessible. And there are a series of 7 requirements. It is mobility related, not financially related in this particular case. Director Ricker, I don't know if you have any other.
Sure. In this particular instance with 4 units, our inclusionary zoning does not apply 15% affordable. We generally, you need 6 units in order to require 1 affordable unit. So this project, our inclusionary zoning does not apply, unfortunately.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments this evening? All right. Yes.
Because we're here, I figured
I'm sorry if I could,
My name is
first
Kristen
last name and
Scravitt.
address.
My name is Kristen Scravitt. I live at 15 Everett Street.
Great.
I'm also going to speak in relation to the 18 Grafton Street proposal. I understand it's been postponed until later, but given that we have the director here, since you're going to be talking to the developer, we also have some concerns that relate to some of the other concerns that have been mentioned. Primarily, we're concerned about hazardous material mitigation related to demolition. Yep. We're concerned about property lines and what's going to happen with the fence that they seem to be claiming as theirs. We're not really sure what's going on with that. We're also concerned about a very large tree that 8 families share. Mm-hmm. And if that tree is damaged while this is going on, while this construction is going on, it could very negatively impact a lot of families.
Sure.
So those are the concerns, and we're happy to follow up with you via email, but
Please, sure, absolutely. And you can always reach out with your concerns and correspondence. The board reads all correspondence that comes in, so do I. And it really does, can make an impression when you do correspond with us. So please, if you're feeling like you can put it in writing, send it along to us, and we will certainly relay all concerns to the applicant. Sure.
Thank you very much. So seeing no one else wishing to speak for open forum, yes, Jean?
I'd just like to say something, and we can't really speak to the proposal itself because we've continued it to another day. But based on what the two of you had to say, if you happen to have ever had your property surveyed, it would be really helpful, I think, for you to get that survey and to share it with the Director of Planning and Community Development.
Please. Thank you, Jean. Appreciate the clarification. So with that, we will close agenda item number 4, which is open forum, and open agenda item number 5, which is new business. And I will turn it over to Director Ricker for any new business.
Great, thank you. I do have one piece of business, new business, that I just wanted to go over with the board here at this meeting, and that is to just verify the remaining meeting dates for 2025. The department had our November dates a little messed up, and I just wanted to make sure that we were all sort of on the same page here. Our next meeting is on September 15th. Then we have October 6th, October 20th, November 3rd, November 17th, December 1st, and December 15th.
That's what I have too.
Great. Okay, thank you. That's all of my new business tonight. Thank you.
Sorry, could you say the December dates again?
Sure. I have
Actually, the November and December dates again?
Sure, November 3rd, November 17th, December 1st, and December 15th. And our retreat will be on October 19th.
You wouldn't mind sending that to me?
I'm happy to send that to everyone.
It's no longer in my laptop anymore.
Yes.
Great, thank you very much. Any
Thank you.
questions or comments on the dates?
I just may not have heard that right. The retreat's on October 19.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Steve?
New business?
Yes.
Yes, I do have new business.
course.
So this is, I'll start with a question for staff. Arlington was recently given the designation of being one of the Commonwealth's housing choice communities. And I was wondering if staff could talk a little bit about how we receive that designation and what does it get us?
Excellent, thank you. I'm happy to turn it over to the Assistant Director and our very esteemed housing planner, Sarah Suarez, to expand a little more on what exactly that designation means.
Hello, everyone. Sarah Suarez, Assistant Director, Planning and Community Development. So for the 2025 the one-stop application process, the town applied for a community housing choice designation, which is a process that takes a look at the number of housing units that you have been able to develop over the past 5 years, certain policies that the town has enacted during the course of the years, any initiatives basically that the town is taking to encourage more housing units. So it's not necessarily affordable housing units or unaffordable, it's just the number of housing units to meet this housing shortage that we're facing. So over the course of 5 years, the town has permitted 321 new housing units. So that got us over one of the threshold criteria. In addition, for instance, some of the things that we've adopted were the ADU bylaw. We are an MBTA, multifamily housing community overlay district community. We have a lot of environmental initiatives, including being a fossil fuel-free community. We have a housing production plan, which was adopted in 2022, which looks at different ways to increase diverse housing stock and ways to, make it easier to develop housing that meets the goals of the community, at large, not just, build housing anywhere. It's, that is consistent with the goals of the town's master plan. So what does that get us? Well, that opens us up to an exclusive grant program called the Housing Choice Grant, which is an annual grant process where we can apply for up to $500,000 grants for site plan development, for building infrastructure, for different feasibility studies to look at different properties, whether they're that are going to be built or looking at different ways to see how we can make them built. We also would qualify for up to $150,000 per year in a planning and zoning grants, which is kind of like, before you know what you want to build there, you could do planning and zoning studies and hire consultants to see, what would make sense where. There's a development continuum that the state has that wants us to look at housing, sustainability, look at, achieving housing and development and construction that's sustainable, looking at traffic mitigation options or alternatives. So it's a good designation. We're very happy. There's not, out of 351 communities, I think there's only 90 that have this housing choice community designation. We have to reapply every 5 years, so it's not just a one and done situation. So, this is a work in progress. We'll have to continue to, meet these certain thresholds. So I'm looking forward to continuing it and answering any questions you have.
Just to follow up, I believe that this designation also gives us preferential status for things like Mass Works and Complete Streets funding.
You're correct. So this designation gets us bonus points when we apply for additional grants through Mass DOT's Complete Streets grant program, Mass Works, which looks at our infrastructure, our roads, bridges, water lines. We got preferential treatment or consideration for that. We get preferential consideration for grants to acquire new park space, to acquire conservation land. We get a discounted rate to look at some water quality improvement measures. If you go online, you can go on the town's website under affordable housing. We have a news article about it. You can just look online for housing choice communities. My contact information is available on the website. Anybody can call me and ask questions. I can talk about it for a very long time. So,
And one last thing that I came across, and because I did ask this question before the meeting so that you would be prepared. Out of the 321 net new units that were permitted in Arlington over the last 4 years, I believe a total of 99 were deed restricted affordable. Does that sound?
that sounds very close, if not 100% accurate.
Which is, I think that's something, that's a commendable achievement. So kudos to staff for, doing the work to get this application in. And I'm hoping we can have some opportunities to take advantage of it over the next couple of years. Thank you.
Likewise.
Great. Thank you, and congratulations for all of that hard work.
Thank you.
Thanks. Jean, any new business?
This is maybe a little unfair because I didn't sort of warn you ahead of time, but I think it's 366 Mass Ave, which is an office building that looks worse every time you walk by, which is very often. Do you have any information you can share with us about what's going on there? And is there anything the board might want to do?
Thank you for bringing up that property. You're not the first person who has brought up that property with me, especially lately. It's my understanding that it's a former office building that had a fire and remains in, sort of various states of being boarded up. The last time I was over there, I think the back half was still open. As far as I know, there are no plans for that building at this time. I also am, I would need to check in with Mr. Champa about where he is in terms of the state of the building itself, and what measures inspectional services has potentially taken over there with any liens or fines or anything related to that. It is something that we are looking into, and I'd be happy to give you a better update once I've had more of an opportunity to research.
Yeah, and then also if there's anything the board could consider doing.
Sure. I think it's a very interesting question, and I think we need to, certainly pursue avenues with the existing owner talking about redevelopment or potentially the property changing hands to someone who would want to do something with it. This board does have the authority to do urban renewal and could potentially include this property or even do a one-property urban renewal plan, which would allow for a development, which would allow for the town to take the property for a potential development or to reconstruct the building, maybe as an office building. But it is something, that this board does have in its jurisdiction, and it's certainly something we could look at.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Jean. Shayna?
Nothing.
Ken?
Nothing here.
The only item of new business I have is really to follow up on the request from last meeting. If you do have any feedback for me to pass on to the town moderators committee that is looking at how they may support the town meeting members' understanding of future zoning articles through modification to schedule process, et cetera, they are still looking for feedback. Anything else?
Nothing here.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So motioned.
Second.
Take a vote, starting with Steve,
Yes.
Jean,
Yes.
Shayna,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for joining us this evening.